Hello everybody, getting ready to go into SAT Math Level 2 Prep syllabus and your session schedule, SAT Math Level 2 study session schedule. And students, you will get a free diagnostic test if you email me here, animated PowerPoint Math Video at AOL.com, and I'll schedule you for a free diagnostic test. And we do take PayPal and we utilize ClickMath technology. Let's go right into our first study session for this Math Sat Level 2. And we start out here with a diagnostic test. Quiz 3 is what we use, half-hour test. For quiz number 3, they'll tell me where you're at and what you need. Then we go right into study session number 1, which is 1 hour, and we cover functions, and we go into linear functions as well. And there's classwork, and then there's homework for each one of these, either a PowerPoint version or a video version, or both. You can order both. And then quadratic functions, note-taking guide. There's note-taking guides with all these. It'll quicken your note-taking. It improves your time efficiency of getting prepared for your level 2 math. Higher degree polynomials, and then solving polynomial inequalities for study session number 2, 1 hour for this amount here. And then number 3 here is solving polynomial inequalities, and we get down into trig functions for our hour 3 here. These are equipped with PowerPoint class work versions as well as homework versions, and you get solutions as well. And going into our session number 4, 1 hour here, trig functions continuing. Trig functions here will be all of session 4, 1 hour here. And then session 5 will be exponential logs, exponential and logarithms here. And then rational functions, we get into rational functions as well with session 5. And going into session 6, we have parametric equations. Yes, they will be on your level 2, so you need to be aware of that. And piecewise functions, transformations, and symmetry as well. We'll cover that for transformations and symmetry, even in odd functions and stuff like that. And that is your session 6, 1 hour. And then session 7, we get into conic sections, and then polar coordinates, note-taking guides, classworks, and then we got homework for each one of these titles here, so you'll get ample room to practice, and you get practice tests as well that will test how well you know this stuff. And we go into quiz number 6, which is another test session, a 1/2 hour test session to see how you're coming along. And then we go into session 8, 1 hour here, 3-dimensional geometry and counting. We get into counting situations here. And then we go into session 9, which is continuing here into counting. And then complex numbers, and then matrices. Get into matrices. If you need any kind of refresher kind of coursework that will get you refamiliarized with matrices, I have tons of courses, or rather sessions of work I can assign to you. So if you're weak in one area, I have over 4,000 lessons that I can assign to you, whether in PowerPoint or video. And then we go into our next test session here. Number 3, test 3, SAT Math Level 2 diagnostic test number 3, 1/2 hour for that. And then we move on here to session 10, matrices, continuing in matrices with the homework. And then sequences and series, and then get into vectors as well. Good pre-calculus work here. And then we go into statistics. We change gears and go into statistics and probability in session 11, 1 hour here for your classworks. Your homeworks might take a little bit longer, but your classworks will be covered in 1 hour due to PowerPoint, animated PowerPoint technology and MP4 video technology. And then we go into our test scheduling here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 tests here that you can practice taking tests, which you need to have good test taking skills. This is recommended after hour 3, so it'll be level 2 test 1 here. And then after hour 5, math level 2 practice test number 2. And then after hour 7, we have test 3 here that's recommended to take. And then after hour 9, be test 4. And then after hour 11, we got test 5. So there's lots of test taking practice, which is what you need with the content that will be on your level 2 SAT. And that is your syllabus for SAT Math Level 2 Prep, Animated PowerPoint Math Video at AOL.com for questions or course materials. And then we go into our click card technology here. This is what you get when you buy the course or a session. You can buy sessions too. You don't have to buy the whole course. And test session number 1, which is 1 hour. You roll your cursor over and you get URLs and your PowerPoints will come up. This is your PowerPoint edition here. There's also MP4 editions as well available. And then over here are your corrections for your homeworks and your quizzes. The corrections will be provided so you can assess yourself that way. And then on to session 2, again, classworks, homeworks, and then your corrections for your homeworks are over here in this column here for session 2, PowerPoint edition. And then session 3, here's your classwork, homeworks, and then here's your corrections for your classwork and homework. And then you have a diagnostic test here, 1.0. Test number 1 is included in your session 3. So you could just order session 3 and I can provide that to you. If you don't want to order the whole course, you can divide it up by sessions. Yeah, on a click card technology here, just roll over when you'll get a URL, click it, and your PowerPoint will come up. And then we go into session 4. Again, here's what's covered. Here's your classwork, homework, then your corrections are over here for session 4 in animated PowerPoint with audio. If you got good T1 lines, you'll get audio as well with your PowerPoint. And then we go into session 5, exponential logs, exponential rational functions, and your homework. And then there is a test here for session 5. And then session 6, your classwork, homework, then your corrections are over here using click card technology here. And then we go into session 7 and you get your URLs for each of these classwork, homeworks, and then your corrections for session 7, 1 hour here, conic sections through polar coordinates. And then you have a math level 2 test here as well, math level homework part 1 and tests as well. And then we go into session 8, which is 1 hour for your classwork, homeworks, and then your corrections for that work. And then we have a diagnostic test number 6 here after session 8. And then again into session 9. Here's your homework. And then you have classwork here, and then you have a test number 4 here as well, another test as well. And then we go into session 10, and we have matrices through vectors on session 10. Here's your classwork homework, and then here's your corrections for that work so you can assess yourself. If you want to do it that way, I do offer full online courses as well. And this will be test 3 is included here for session 10. And then we go into session 11, statistics through probability. And then we have another session test, test 5, with your corrections here using click card technology, and all in PowerPoint editions here. And that is your syllabus and your click card review, animated PowerPoint math video at AOLA.com for questions or course materials. Thank you very much.